I'm Menachem Learfield, and this is Dear Rabbi, where we answer your questions about Judaism. This week on Dear Rabbi, my kelev ate my kippa, doesn't need to go to Ganiza. So while the questioner rhymed his question beautifully, just to clarify, a kippa is the head covering that Jewish men traditionally wear on their heads. A kelev is a dog, and Ganiza is the process and the place where we bury holy items. So it's otherwise known as shemos, which literally means names. And the idea is that if there's a piece of parchment or paper that has God's name on it, we are not allowed to destroy it or throw it away. So instead, it actually gets buried the same way a human being would get buried. So the question that's being asked is, does a kippa, which is destroyed, need to go into Ganiza, or can it get thrown out? So the simple answer is no, it does not need to go into Ganiza. It does not need to be buried, because I think we even have a podcast episode about this from early in the first season. The kippa, the yarmulke, does not have any spiritual significance to it whatsoever. It is nothing more than a convenient way to cover our heads. Jewish men cover their heads to remind themselves constantly that God is above. That is where the term yarmulke comes from. It actually is Yarei Malka, the fearers of heaven, because the yarmulke reminds us to be aware of the fact that God is above. But the way I cover my head isn't mandated. I can cover my head with a turban or with a hood or with a baseball cap or a fedora. Really, any head covering will count. And the fact that I wear this covering versus another really is insignificant. The yarmulke has absolutely no inherent spiritual value to it. I see oftentimes people will drop their kippa, it'll fall off, and they'll pick it up and kiss it the same way we would kiss a holy Jewish book or something else that falls. And the truth is, it's totally unnecessary because, as I said, it doesn't have any spiritual, religious significance to it. Thank you so much for your question. Thank you all for listening. And if you have a question that you'd like us to address, head on over to joidenver.com/Dear Rabbi to submit your question so we can answer it right here on a future episode. Don't forget to subscribe, share with your friends. We'll see you back here next week.